Before we begin writing today, I would like you to watch the following video. As you watch it, I would like you to think, what was the problem, what was the solution, and what lesson did you learn?
The Grasshopper and the Ants, an Aesop's fable with a focus on vocabulary. One warm spring day, a grasshopper was playing in a grassy green field when he noticed a line of ants marching along carrying some seeds. "Where are you going with that big load?" the grasshopper asked one of them. "We're taking these seeds to our nest," squeaked the ant. "But it's such a beautiful day," said the grasshopper. "Come and have fun with me." "No," said the ant. "I think you should come work with us. It's going to be a long winter with lots of snow. You had better start storing your food now." "Why worry about the winter? It's only spring, and there is lots of food everywhere," said the grasshopper as he chewed on a large blade of grass. All through the spring, the grasshopper did nothing except eat and sleep and play. He became quite fat. One day, during the summer, the grasshopper saw the long line of ants again. They were all carrying grains of wheat. "Where are you going with all that wheat?" the grasshopper asked. "We are taking it to our nest to save for winter," said one of the ants. "You should gather some wheat too. It's going to be a long winter with lots of snow." "I have all the food that I need right now," said the grasshopper. "Why worry about winter? It's still summer." All summer, the grasshopper did nothing but eat, sleep, and play. He became even fatter. One day, the grasshopper noticed that leaves were falling from the trees. Autumn had come. Among the leaves, he again saw the long line of ants, all carrying kernels of corn. "Where are you going with that corn?" the grasshopper asked one of the ants. The ant replied, "We are taking it to our nest to save for winter. You should gather some corn too. It's going to be a long winter with lots of snow." "That's too much work," said the grasshopper. "Winter is not here yet, and when it comes, I am sure I will be able to find some food." A few weeks later, winter came, and the snow began to fall. Just as the ants had predicted, the snow was very deep. This was not a problem for the ants, though. They were all snug in their nest with lots of good food to eat. The grasshopper, however, had trouble finding food. He was very hungry and very miserable all winter. By the time winter had ended, the grasshopper had learned a valuable lesson. It is important to prepare for the future. Moral of the story: work today for what you will need tomorrow. The end.
ABCMouse.com is so fun. There's a ton of things to do. Reading, math, songs, they never ran out of things. They just make new stuff. There's one more thing that's super duper fun. You can do the learning path. It's where there's activities, books, and games. With ABC Mouse, learning is fun. 100% fun.
Today we will be working on creating our own fables. In Shared, we've read 2 different fables that each taught us an important lesson or moral. We will focus on developing our own fable by using a graphic organizer to help us brainstorm. Let's get started. Our focus for writing today is to develop our fables that have clear, short sequence of events and include details to describe actions, thoughts, and feelings. Remember, a fable is a story with animal characters. It is a story which teaches us a lesson, which is also called a moral. As mentioned, we will be using a graphic organizer to help structure our fable. We want to make sure that we keep our events in order so that our fables flow nicely. We will work on each category together to help us understand how to begin our writing. Let's start with our characters, setting, and moral. Think about your options and see which one interests you the most. You can use the stars to pick your choices. For the characters, you have a dog, a pig, a wolf, a snake, and you need to pick 2 characters, so that's why there are 2 stars. For the setting, you have in the forest, in the desert, and near a lake. And then the 2 morals you can choose from are to help a friend in need or treat others with respect. Now that you have picked your moral, let's think about creating a problem and a solution to your story. Think back to our video for guidance. The problem was that the grasshopper did not want to prepare for the summer. The solution then was that he realized how important it was in the end, so the following year he helped store food. So before we begin thinking about how their story is going to be developed, let's first start with what is going to be the problem or the issue in your fable, and then how is it resolved? How is the story fixed in the end? You are doing great. Since you've created your problem and solution, you can now begin to develop your story. Now we want to think about what events happen in the beginning, middle, and end of your story. This is where you can add details to help make your story come to life. So again, in the grasshopper and the ants, we know that in the beginning we were introduced to the characters, we discovered, what they were doing. In the middle, as we were starting to understand the problem, we, noticed that the grasshopper was having fun, and all those details just helped me visualize, everything that he was doing. And in the end, we kind of wrapped it up by understanding, what the grasshopper came to realize. So for this part right here, this is just where you're jotting any ideas that you would have to just help to make and create your story. In fables, it is important that we make it very clear how the characters learn the lesson within your story. Make sure you really think about how to wrap everything up in the end so that we clearly understand how the lesson was learned. In the box below, I would like you to answer the question, how do your characters learn the moral of your story? Awesome. Now that we have our graphic organizer filled in, we can begin drafting our fables. Use everything you just jotted down to help develop your fable. Remember to think about keeping your events in order. You want your readers to be able to follow along.